want South Africa to keep hurting. I want people to hang Cyril Ramaphosa by the neck, because he is directly responsible for that death.
Good authority.
Yeah.
Welcome back to the show.
Yeah, thank you.
It's been some time now.
Last time I was supposed to come,
I
was taken to Section 33.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I was so disappointed, and I don't, because I didn't know what was happening, because I came to the studio prepared and everything. The next thing, I think you went off for 2 days, right? 3 days, I think.
4 days. I was there for 96 hours.
Damn. Yeah, because I was worried after what you said on Instagram. I was like, maybe this nigga is dead. And I remember this guy who owns the studio. I was like, do you know anyone related to him? He was like, and I don't know anyone related to him. So there's no way I can get you. There's no other way beside me inboxing you straight. Yeah, but I good.
Yeah, well, there's lots of people you could have contacted.
Yeah.
Could have contacted other podcasters that I've visited. Maybe I've contacted someone. Maybe I've let someone know.
Yeah,
you know.
Yeah, but I'm glad to see you back and flash.
Thank you.
Yeah, I see you have been on the Hustlers Corner lately. Are you officially a member now?
A member? No, yeah. I'm officially a Monday co-host.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For how long? Is it a permanent thing or?
I think we're going to do this maybe up until 2025.
Damn, should I say congratulations for your new gig?
I wouldn't call it a gig. But we've been building up to it.
Yeah.
For quite a while.
Yeah.
It's something that we've been building. So we just needed to train the audience to expect more and more of me.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Because I'm not a broadcaster, so people are not used to seeing you speaking weekly. You know what I mean? When you're usually a guest, they want you in little bits and pieces.
Yeah, but I think they do, because it's I know it's a bit different now, but you always on podcasts. Sometimes it happens you're on two podcasts twice in a week. So I think people are used to that. So how did that come about? When did you and DJs Boo sit down and talk about it?
We spoke about it a long time ago.
Yeah.
Long time ago. So, I think after my first visit.
Your first visit?
Yeah.
It's been some long...
Yeah, after my first visit, we had a meeting before my second visit. We had a meeting first, and I was like, the problem with the space right now is that there's only one person who's prominent in the space, and that was McG.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's a problematic situation for us to be in, because if he can be captured, then it means the whole entire space is captured. And I knew that, there were people trying to capture him. The guys that run Super TV, Super Bets.
Super Bets, yeah.
Yeah, and which is owned by Pumelela Gaming.
Yeah.
And Pumelela Gaming, the chairman in 2020 of Pumelela Gaming board was Moses Tembe, Anile Tembe's father.
Yeah.
So as soon as I realized that, once McG lost all his other sponsors, the only sponsor he had was Anile Tembe's father. Then I knew that, that's a big problem.
It's a big problem.
Yeah, that's a very big problem. So I already preempted the moves, and I already knew that, okay, fine. By the time they start showing what they're going to do by controlling him, there should be a fallback. There should be more platforms, and the platforms, there should be a diversity of platforms. That's why I came to a lot of platforms.
Yes.
I came to your platform. We did a lot of work with Penwell as well, who was helping Sbu. He was building the virtual Mkuku platform, which, already now is established as its own platform, where Sbu is just a guest host. I think he's going to continue being a guest host as well, for as long as I'll be a guest host on the Hustlers Corner, so maybe up until 2025.
Yeah.
There's the Penwell show, which also came about, which is another show that he does. And, there's a whole lot of new shows. I mean, Maligant also left Podcast and Chill.
I saw that.
And he's been working with a whole lot of other whole lot of other creators. Yeah.
So with your words saying that they are controlling him, are you saying he's being captured? Because I
been captured.
I saw you posted that, I think last week or something.
I knew that he'd been captured from the moment Anile Tembe passed. That's why I went to the platform on that when I was invited as a guest.
Yeah.
You know, and I said everything that I said. So if you watch that episode from 47 minutes onwards,
yes,
you know, basically, he speaks about who are his sponsors and they stuck by him and that they won't be controlling him, which is obviously a lie because they stopped him from speaking about AKA the entire time. So if you watch Podcast and Chill, all of a sudden they didn't speak about AKA at all. No matter what was happening with AKA, they wouldn't even mention it. And that became blatantly obvious when Mpo Pops was a guest there.
Yeah.
And then he was the first person to actually...
To talk about the AKA. Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah. And that even went viral, you know. So they're trying to suppress him so that it's like he doesn't exist. Yeah.
That's so sad, man. So what's your plan with the Hustlers Corner? Like, because already DJ Sbu has, what's the other one?
Virtual Mkuku
with Penuel, which they release weekly also.
So so I mean, he's an incubator. So he incubates the platform. So I'm also incubating my own platform. I'll only have my own platform running from 2026 onwards.
That's so long, eh?
Yeah, but it's going to be part of...
Because people want more from you. Like, they want
I've got
more.
other things that I'm doing. I've collaborated with Sydney.
Yeah.
No, he's not on camera, but he's here.
Listers.
So we're doing the Music Business Authority. That's the one thing. And
that was dope. I saw it.
Yeah. So...
Why didn't I get an invite there?
You're not a female artist. And you're not in the music business. So you don't need to speak to the authority.
Just to listen and observe.
No, you could have. There was a public invite. You could have registered and been part of the studio audience.
Oh, next time I didn't see it.
By the time this is, I don't know when you're gonna have this out.
By the end of the week, Thursday, Friday. Yeah.
Okay, so yesterday or 2 days ago, I did Setting the Record Straight with Arthur Mafokate, and that had a live audience as well. So we're doing a whole lot more content with me as a host and a presenter. And I think the broadcasting space, I got to learn from one of the best to ever do it, DJ Spoo, you know. He's been personally training me. And that's the value exchange that we've had. I mean, he's given me a platform and he's training me at the same time and making me a better broadcaster.
I saw that.
And I bring obviously my research skills and my summation skills because I'm able to do a whole lot of research on broad topics and summarize them and contextualize them in a way that people find it easy to understand. Yeah,
I saw him teaching you what you were teaching me just to do in the intro. Like, not to do the intro for the show. And you're like, but you were good, man. But I'm not used to you opening the show. But we'll get used to that, you know.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So
I'll be opening the show for a lot more times. I need to figure out, you know, if I want a signature opening or if I want to have a signature of not having a signature opening. Like every opening is unique. I'm
also on that stage because, like, even now I didn't say welcome to this. I take that from you. You told me that they never do that again, and I don't think I'll ever open a show with that. Welcome to my show. I don't think so. Yeah.
That's my opening is never like welcome to the show. My opening is just about setting the scene, about where we are.
Yeah, what are we doing?
The subject is about. So I don't know how many of the episodes you watched of me on the Hustlers Corner.
I've watched all of them. All of them.
Okay, good.
All of them.
Okay, good.
Do you have one which you want to talk about specifically?
No.
Yeah.
I mean, today we did one. I don't know if you saw that.
Today? No, I didn't. Yeah. I was busy on my research today.
Yeah, so today we're speaking about the student affairs and the WITS protests.
I just came out from there, you know, protesting. Yeah, it's bad. It's bad.
One day you go to WITS?
Yeah,
so
it's bad.
Do you pay for your accommodation?
I'm covered by NSOS.
Yeah, but do you pay?
Like how?
Like the 45,000 limit. Is it enough?
No, it's not.
So then how do you pay for your accommodation?
So it's like we top up. Like, so the 4.5 it's for sharing. It's like you and the other guy, and if it's girls, it's 2 girls in the room. Sometimes more. So when they normally charge that, and we Normally, everyone want their space, their own room and everything. That's when you have to top up and everything. Sometimes they say like 1.5, the accommodations differs. Some say 1.5, some say 500 and everything. I remember this January, I was looking for a place. So they want you to pay that money up front. Like that whole top
And
up
does
money.
NSFAS give you the money up front?
No. You pay for that money. I remember they wanted 15,000 for me from this accommodation. Yeah.
And you're passing, you're getting good marks.
They don't care. They just want that
So
money.
NSFAS is a grant now. You don't have to pay it back when you're done, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's no longer a loan. So, we have to thank President Jacob Zuma for that. But the problem is that, still Ramaphosa and his friends, the business people that fund him and fund his political campaigns, they benefit from student accommodation because they're selling it and they're trying to make a profit, and they're also benefiting from charging exorbitant rates for student accommodation. So if you look at a company like Baloyi Properties are able to keep their rentals so high because there's over 14,000 hectares of land that is supposed to be for public use, that the government is supposed to distribute and develop so that people can have low-cost housing and publicly funded accommodation, and that land has not been distributed. And I even tweeted, I Instagram post a conversation between Mamuluko Gobai and Everybody Hates NB. And basically Everybody Hates NB was asking her about what is happening with that land, what is the progress, and she said something about she'd already discussed it with the people at Sona, and I think he asked her for like infographics or some more information on the progress of releasing that land, because Baldwin Properties has got very low occupancies right now. A lot of people in a lot of areas, Sandton has probably got 30% occupancy in terms of residential property right now. And when you look at the commercial properties, also quite empty. A lot of people have been fired, retrenched, working from home. So Sandton City doesn't even have 4 p.m. traffic anymore, and that could be used to accommodate people who are working around those areas, but they want to keep rentals high. So they'd rather have vacancies now and charge a premium for the accommodation, or allow these vacancies in the residential to be converted into hotels, Airbnb, or
I get that.
Yeah.
So that's what we're fighting for, like, basically. So like, I'm just a kid from Limpopo, I just came to Joburg. Now, before I move into a room, before I even take my bags in, I need to pay like 8,000 to 15,000. You see,
that's terrible.
Already that's a lot.
And that's discouraging you from having an education. Some of you have to take side jobs. There's not enough side jobs.
It's super bad.
There's so many empty buildings in the CBD right now that could be converted into accommodation for universities to use, for colleges to use, because there's a lot of colleges in the town, in town, in the CBD. And there's a lot of vacancies. There's a lot of people who've moved their offices to Rosebank and other places that have got backup generators and diesel generators that run the whole entire time so that they don't feel the effects of load shedding. And those people have got the money to pay that premium, but students shouldn't be, punished now and then looking at empty buildings that could be refurbished and could accommodate them, and then bring down the rental rates as well. Because if there's more availability of accommodation, then there'll be lower prices as well, instead of these exploitative practices. And then it makes you wonder, what is education being provided for? Is it being provided so that we've got an elite group of educated people that can then serve the corporate hegemony that runs this country, or are we actually using education as a public good for public benefit, so that we've got a more educated population, we've got a more capable population, we can increase our tax base instead of having less than 7% of the country running the entire government and supplying the fiscus with their income, instead of, a greater portion of the population in supporting the social services that we so need to change the inequality that we have, and to lessen the gap between the haves and the have-nots, which is basically the goals of the Rainbow Nation, is to reduce poverty. But we're seeing that our government is too in bed with the businesses that benefit from people being poor.
Yeah, they just want to benefit from this. There's no other way. Like,
That's it.
Yeah.
So that's it. So if they make sure that all the poor people have got no accommodation, then they can charge the rich people even more, because then there's more crime. So which means that they'll need more private services like security services. There's also a higher burden on the healthcare, and the public healthcare system then gets overburdened, which means that they can then charge more exorbitant rates for private healthcare, because if you don't have private healthcare, you don't have healthcare at all. I mean, I was taking on a Section 33, and for that 4-day stay at Life Portview, I think it cost me over 30,000 rands on my medical aid.
Just for 4 days?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was 25,000 rands for the staying of 4 days. And then I had occupational therapy. I had psychiatrists. I had I had 2 different psychiatrists and 2 psychologists.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know it was used. Whose medical aid was used? Because you were.
It's my medical aid.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm an adult. I'm not a child.
I mean, like, because you were taken like involuntary.
I know.
Yeah.
I know. I was taken involuntary, and they used my medical aid. I know.
Yeah.
You know? And then they even had the audacity to say, you're lucky you've got medical aid. And I'm like, no, I'm not lucky. I pay for it.
Yeah, like, who's that?
Dr. Andres.
Dr. Andres. Yeah, people say that, sometimes when you work hard and you get what you deserve, they say you're like, you just got there. They don't know, like, how did you get there, first of all, Yeah,
it's just some stupidity.
Yeah, it's crazy.
It's racism.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's racism. So because racism is institutionalized, sometimes people don't see their biases. So he didn't see that he was insulting me. So he wasn't doing it intentionally. It's just that he's been badly raised, in a racist system that produces people with those sorts of backward mentalities.
Yeah.
So I don't get angry at him, but I understand that this is the system that we live in. And this is why we need to advocate for change. Yeah, like we need to get Cyril Ramaphosa to step down. Like, we cannot have Cyril Ramaphosa as our president anymore, because he's too in bed with the corporate hegemony. He's in bed with Glencore. His company, Shanduka, benefits from our poverty. And because of that, he cannot act in a way that will take bread off of his family's table. These are the people that raised him. These are the people that feed him. And right now, this country is being fed off of. They're basically eating the poor.
Yeah,
they're feeding off of us. That's it.
So how do you get him out?
We need the youth to, advocate for justice. I mean, like, he even had AKA killed.
Yeah. To tell you something, they were calling us crazy at Twitter for striking, just this week. Like,
I know.
There's hooligans and everything.
Yeah, and did you see what I said about that?
And, like, we, the youth, like, we, the ones...
It's the rich kids that are saying that. And they're being encouraged because the media supports that narrative. So they'll retweet those students. They'll make sure that their tweets get shown when they show videos to say, oh no, but the students that are complaining are academically excluded, their marks are not up to standard. And then the independent media went there and then they interviewed medical students who've got 75% in their marks. Those are distinctions, right?
Yeah.
And they got 75% averages. These are the people that are going to graduate cum laude, but they can't graduate cum laude because they owe over 10,000 rands in fees. And that's because of the accommodation situation. Yeah,
they're all over. Some, there's a student who owes like, I think, 100,000.
Yeah, but I mean, apart from that, medical students, need their own proper accommodation because the hours that they work, are different. Because once you start working as, what do you call those medical students that are student doctors or whatever? Yeah, then they start working late nights. They start volunteering at different hospitals. Imagine if you're studying at Wits and then you're deployed to Baragwana Hospital and you have to work late at night. And now you have to go into a normal student accommodation where they don't allow you to come in after 10 p.m.
After 10,
Something as ridiculous as that. Now you have to argue with this security guard who doesn't have a proper education and doesn't understand that his job and his duty is to protect the students, but rather thinks that his job is to police the students. And they make your life difficult. It just makes it very discouraging to actually pursue an education.
Like for the first time this week, when I first went to the strike, That's the first time I felt like I'm expressing how I feel. Like never. I've spoken to people complaining and everything, but that strike made me feel. Now we're showing exactly how we feel. For me, when going to the strike was not only about fees. I was striking for everything, for electricity, for everything. I just wish all of this can just continue.
Yeah, because
like
all
we
of
need
these, the young people need to strike. So that's why I'm saying, like, they had AKA killed because he's the one person who's prominent, you know. He's the one person with a political voice. On his song with Costa Tich, he says, all of y'all were the platform. How am I the only one with a backbone and the radio on Smash?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Or something like that, you know.
Yeah, AKA was for the kids, man. Even that time around Fist Must Fall, he donated. He was there on the strikes
I was
with
there
you.
with him. Yeah, I was there with him. You know what I mean? So now, you know, you don't have anyone that's standing up for the kids, standing up for the youth. You know, the nasty seeds of this world, they're out there. They weren't even at the funeral. They weren't even at the memorial service. But when he's performing, he now says, yo, okay, everybody scream AKA super mega, super mega. So which means that your support for this person is disingenuous. You're not even calling for justice. You saw your icon, your idol, being shot in the head, dead. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The VIT students should be marching for that alone. For that alone, to say, listen, the criminality in this country, the fact that we have to pay for expensive accommodation because now we need extra private security because our policing is, you know, dysfunctional and our police are actually the criminals. Our prison warders are letting prisoners out to commit hits, to commit crimes and using them as their little criminal slaves so that they can have deniability and, they can have proxies that commit acts for them. You know, the fact that Thabo Mbeki speaks about Izinkabi that are on municipal payrolls and everyone just moves on as if that's normal. That's a former president. Normal. That's a former president admitting that the government is paying people to kill people. That political killings are happening.
Then that says what about the security of our country?
It means that the kids, if they don't strike together and one of them stands up, they can get themselves killed. So that's how you suppress the student action. You know, Abo Dlamini, they lost everything. You know, they were inside. How long was Abo Dlamini inside jail or whatever for? I don't know how long.
It's been some time now.
He was there for a long time. You know, he lost everything and he came out looking like a criminal. Meanwhile, real criminals are out there. People who steal money from the government, steal billions, millions.
Yeah, that's another thing that makes us angry, you know. When we striking, they call the police like we killed someone.
And the police brutality
they call
on
the
students.
Police.
Imagine if I hadn't made all of those videos where
I
recorded the police and I taught people how to deal with police.
Even this morning, one of my friends, he took a video. I don't know what was happening. They were about to get arrested. He was just down, like.
Yeah, but they took a video of it.
Yeah, they took a video and uploaded.
Now people know. People know that, let's upload the videos. This is exactly the work that I was doing when people were calling me crazy. When people were saying, oh no, in another country, he should be arrested for what he's doing. No, I'm teaching the kids to speak up for themselves. You know what I mean? I'm standing up for myself and I'm using my platform to stand up for myself and I'm teaching people how to deal with police brutality. We've got it on record.
Yeah, because we've always been scared of police, you know, like even now I'm personally scared of police.
Yeah, but when you're alone. Yeah. But now that you've got your phone, you've got your camera, you've got your platform.
You know what to do. Yeah.
Exactly. And that's the sacrifice that I had to make. You know, I had to sit in those holding cells for hours. I had to get brutalized by the cops. I had to get, driven terribly with my hands tied behind my back where they were trying to break my neck. They were trying to kill me, I've experienced the worst torture.
The worst, yeah.
I've experienced the worst torture. And then the worst part about it is that they get to your family members and then they make your family members abandon you. And then they make you look like you're crazy. Yeah. The most disgusting person of them all is KO. KO sending legal letters to my senile mother. My mother's not even properly mentally well. You know what I mean? She's really old.
Yeah.
The type of work that she was doing denied her vitamin D. She worked she was a senior controller at Zero Control at ESCOM. So because of the hours that she worked, when it was daytime, she'd stay inside that place with no sun whatsoever. When it was night shift, obviously there is no sun. Yeah. And then she has to go home and sleep the whole entire day. So she doesn't get any vitamin D, and that affected her health. Made her lose a lot of weight. She's very sickly, And now they're scaring my family. KO is contributing to that, and all is.
Why did he send the letters to them though?
Exactly.
Doesn't he have your number,
He's
your
got
address,
everything?
or just call like colleagues in the game?
It's because that's the thing. It's because they know that I'm not gonna back down. He knows that he's got questions to answer. He knows that his brother was watching when someone raised a gun and shot Keenan in the head. He knows, and he's saying nothing. He's not calling for justice. He's not standing there in the marches with the students. He's not doing anything that is positive in this country. All he wants to do is kill people's careers. All he wants to do is use young people to make himself seem like he's some sort of messiah as he's saving them. Meanwhile, no one who's been around KO has ever benefited. You know, no one has ever gone and grown beyond what they started with KO. You know, Zinger is like his little lapdog.
What do you mean?
Because I mean, like they kicked him to the curb.
They're brothers.
It's not that they're brothers. They're not brothers. Zinger's not his brother. You know, it's like they kicked you to the curb. They stifled you from opportunities because they saw you as a threat. He saw, this young, pretty boy, he's younger than me. And
he's
he can
coming
rap.
with something.
You know what I mean? Let me make sure that I sabotage his career. They signed people just so they can sabotage their careers. That's the thing, is that they sign you to slave deals just to sabotage your career. I get attacked from, like, I'm trying to help Lady Zamar as well.
Yeah.
You know, I have her as a guest in the Music Business Authority, and then Sipho Dlamini, you know, then stops her from doing that, bullies her out of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Basically, the whole entire Universal office called me except for Sipho Dlamini. And then Sipho Dlamini called Lady Zamar and then lies to her as if they're doing anything for her career. They're not doing anything for her career. The only thing that they're doing is trying to stifle her so that she depends on them for everything, you know?
Yeah.
And she cannot recover her brand from all the, reputational damage that she's faced, so that her comments can stay closed and that she can continue being trolled. Meanwhile, they're the ones that are paying these Twitter trolls. Universal pays Twitter trolls to promote beef between them, Tuda and Gabza. We saw that. I called it out. I stopped it. And they're also paying the same Twitter trolls that were abusing Lady Zamar. How is your record label paying for Twitter trolls to troll you and abuse you?
Because they want you to suffer mentally.
You understand what I'm saying? And then when you're suffering mentally, you sign whatever slave deals that they're offering you because they feel like, or you feel like they could be your saviors.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, they're just eating off of your catalog.
Yeah.
And you're stuck there.
Yeah, two quick questions, right? One about the police. How do they always recognize you?
That's the thing. They're targeting me. They were sent to target me. That's what I knew. I knew that they were sent to target me. That's why I was showing people that, these guys are actually targeting me.
Yeah, and then the last one is... I remember last year, I think...
they were sent to my house to come and attack me. You understand?
Yeah.
And they try to make it look like it's a random stop. No. It's not a random stop. They're targeting me. You understand? They stopped me while I was in my gown getting coffee in the middle of the night. And they arrested me, put me in the back of a cell. In the back of a van. Took me to Douglasdale police station. You know? And then my dad came there. And he played with them. And I said, I'm not going to plead with you. I put that on my Instagram live. It's still up there.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah.
I'm always worried about you, man. Like when those kind of things happen, like it's trauma to me. Like I don't like it at all.
Exactly. It's traumatizing to me as well.
Yeah.
But I have to be strong.
Maybe you should change your car,
No. Why?
Get a new whip.
No, that's stupid. Why?
Yeah.
So I can prove that I'm scared of them. Those are cowards. They target people. They use the limited power that they have.
Yeah.
But it's them that are going to suffer because it's not like the police live in an island.
Yeah.
They've got family members. They've got brothers as well.
Yeah.
And I'm fighting for their freedom.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? And they're going to be the ones that bury their brothers. They're going to be the ones whose sisters get raped. And there's nothing they can do about it.
And you see the same thing that we are fighting for? Even us students, we're fighting for it.
Yes.
So the same police that are sent to us, their students, their children, cannot afford to pay for those whole things.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah, and when you tell those cops, they just follow orders. They say, yes, boss. And then you ask them, who sent you? Cyril Ramaphosa. He hires the Minister of Police. Yeah. He hires the Commissioner of Police. He hires the head of the NPA. He hires the Minister of Justice. He hires the Chief Justice. And he doesn't even take the recommendations of other parties in Parliament. They said they wanted Justice Maya to be the Chief Justice. And then what did he do? He said, no, even though Zondo can only serve a very short term, I'm going to reward him for vindicating me in the State Capture Commission. But we're going to remove Ramaphosa. The youth are going to remove Ramaphosa because we want
Yeah, we
justice
need
for
to
AKA.
we need to do something.
There's no way we're gonna get to the bottom of the murder of AKA without removing Ramaphosa, because Ramaphosa is the reason why AKA was murdered. AKA has their family secrets. He was married into their family. You understand?
Yeah.
Exactly. So you can see that even the Zulu royal house is falling apart. The king is busy with concubines, bringing them into the house, compromising his own safety, all of that nonsense. How is that the Zulu king? A Zulu king sleeping on the belly of some strange woman who's got kids with other people.
The king died, the real king.
His father died. Let's not even call him a real king because he was just a puppet. He was just a puppet.
Yeah.
He's just a puppet. I mean, the Zulu royal family was installed by Queen Victoria. Yes. They said, make you accept this Christian Bible, and then we colonize you with this Christian Bible and make you guys the Zulus. There's no such thing as Zulu tribes. There's no such thing as that. There's clans. There's Nguni clans, different Nguni clans, yes. But now, as soon as the British came with their Bible, they made Afrikaners Afrikaans.
Yeah.
Yes. They created the Afrikaners because they created an Afrikaans Bible. So the Afrikaners were also subjects,
Yeah.
Yes. They weren't a homogeneous group. There were French Huguenots amongst them as well, the Dutch amongst them, a whole lot of different groups from Europe.
Yeah.
Right? Predominantly Dutch. And then they started speaking this Afrikaans language, right?
Yeah.
And then there were some people that said, okay, fine, we need to formalize this so that we can fit into some sort of a political system, which was ruled by the British.
Yeah. You have spoken about how you feel about the death of AKA. Are you still hurting too much, or are you recovering?
I want South Africa to keep hurting. I want people to hang Cyril Ramaphosa by the neck, because he is directly responsible for that death. He is directly responsible for that death. They killed this man so that they can suppress the secrets of that family. And these are all blood cult things. Cyril Ramaphosa does not love his wife. He married her so that he can create a family pact.
Yeah.
I was there the day that Cyril Ramaphosa was elected as ANC president. I was at Moretele Park with Patrice Motsepe.
Yeah.
And he was so happy. Yes, they'd
The
won.
in-laws.
Yes, but they're a family blood pact. Jeff Radebe and his wife, they don't even sleep in the same house. They're married just for business purposes. That's Durban Gogo's evil stepmother. And I say Durban Gogo's evil stepmother because, Durban Gogo was not treated well before she was Durban Gogo.
Yeah.
When she was Mandisa Radebe, she suffered. She had to make something of herself, right? Because her stepmother didn't want her.
At all.
Now that she's famous and influential, now she wants to take pictures with her. Understand? That's how evil she is. That's how they co-opt people. They even co-opted our boy, Younger Chief. You watched that live?
I did.
Yeah, that's not
Everybody
a story.
did.
Yeah, he must explain to himself. He must explain. Why hasn't he explained why he was staying in a 120,000 rand a night suite, spending the entire night in a suite with Bridget Khateb? He must explain that. Why? What were they discussing?
It's so deep.
I mean, she's one of the top 3 richest women in South Africa. She's the head of South African mining, whatever.
Yeah, I get so sad when I started speaking about AKA, like every day you are
Don't get sad, get angry.
Every day you just...
Get angry, don't get sad. Get angry.
I think
sadness is the worst thing that you can do, because when you're sad, you want to suppress that feeling. When you're angry, you want to do something.
Even when I wake up, this is the last time. The song just plays in my head, and I think I know he's around. Then,
That's the thing.
Then I open Twitter, and
death
then
is irreversible. So how can a sitting president allow for this to happen? A political killing like this, he must be benefiting somehow. And how does he benefit? He silences the guy who keeps his family secrets, because some of the family secrets about how they got money in KZN went down with Anele.
Yeah.
Anele was also exposing her family secrets when she was having episodes and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And Keenan knew those family secrets. and they couldn't have him walking around alive as a liability.
Yeah.
He never told me those family secrets, but I know that he went to the grave with them.
Yeah.
He never shared.
And he
those
also knew that he was not wanted. There's this song I don't remember the title, where he was talking about it, the funeral.
Yeah, exactly.
My diary.
But I warned him about that, and I warned his mother about that. When I flew to Cape Town and I went to go see him, I warned him about that.
Yeah. He spoke about that on Tiadara. It was. He was heading from there.
Yeah,
you know,
I was the one who was telling him that these people are passive aggressive. Him using the word passive aggressive, those are my words. I said these people are being passive aggressive.
Yeah.
You know, I remember the day that they came to collect her stuff, and
Where here in Joburg?
no, in Cape Town.
Oh, Cape Town.
Before the funeral, because I even went with him to go view her body and everything else. You know.
Yeah.
When we were viewing her body, he even touched her. She was cold. He was just remarking about, her body is so cold, because obviously they took her out of it.
Yeah.
But he viewed her body. They did her, stitched her nicely. You know what I mean? She looked proper, you know. But he still couldn't get the image out of his head that he saw when he looked over the balcony after she jumped. So, you know, and this was someone who was chronically suicidal, but her father denied that and lied about that.
Yeah, she had 2 attempts, right?
Many attempts.
Yeah,
now,
I think
the attempt that she made, she did it on top of a building that is run by her father. The Durban ICC and the Hilton Hotel, it's one thing. And just imagine that Keenan was staying at the Hilton when he was killed.
Yeah, just because
The Hilton Umhlanga.
recently after she committed suicide, there were pictures that came out. I think AK was breaking a door and everything. Then
But we didn't
secret
see the
people.
videos.
Yeah, it's just pictures.
And that's because he gave up the phone, because the phone was in the luminous Louis Vuitton bag. So I was sitting there, and he wanted to keep the ring, her engagement ring, right?
Yeah.
And he gave them the Rolex because it was a gift, but he didn't know whether to give it or not, you know?
Yeah.
And then when they asked for her phone, his brother said no, he doesn't know where the phone is. But me and the brother, all of us knew where the phone was. But
Yeah.
I knew that, you don't give them the phone, because they're going to go through that phone. They're going to find whatever they need to find to use against you.
Yeah.
And the thing is that if
And
you've
in
had
which they
previous
did,
fights with your partner, your previous fights should now not be used after you've resolved them. You've resolved those fights, you know. And as a responsible father, if you saw that your daughter is in a tumultuous relationship, or if it's toxic, why are you forcing her to be in this relationship? You're forcing her to be in this relationship because you want this super mega to be your son.
Yeah.
You understand? So, I mean,
Yeah,
it means
because-
that you don't care about your child,
Because,
because you're thrusting her into a relationship that's not good for her, and she's only 21 years old.
Yeah, I remember watching a podcast in Chile. She was reading an email which come from an anonymous
family
person,
member.
right? Then they were saying,
Yes, that was part of the whole
so
entire
like
narrative.
they were framing him.
Yes,
actually,
they were
like
framing
they were
him. They
making
said-
him making like
and even the Elias, they tried to create a beef between him and the Elias.
yeah.
You know, saying he was busy with the Elias's, the mother of the Elias's child. All of those disgusting things that they did, you know, to try and disrupt his life.
Yeah. Is it true that he was banned from Durban?
No, he wasn't banned from Durban. He was at the Oyster Box with his family just now.
Yeah.
Recently, last year. He went on a family vacation now, recently.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I saw he was in
Umhlanga.
where the Casper fight took place. What.
That's not in Durban.
I don't know. Yeah, it's not
That's
that.
Sun City.
Yeah, Sun City. I
Yeah,
saw
but that was
the
another.
ones-
Yeah, that was
yeah.
another one. That was
Yeah,
when
yeah.
he went with Nadia on a family vacation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, some people might say that this is a question. Was he wrong by sharing his location?
We always share our location, don't we, in South Africa? Don't you share your location all the time?
We do. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's never a problem to share your location. DJs, artists always share their location. Yo, come to this gig, come to this location, you know?
Even if they don't share, they are there on the posters. Which
Yes, exactly.
We know.
Yeah, where the location is. So
Yeah.
So they try to make it look like, no, he shared his location, then random people got him. And we know that random people are not going to take out a superstar.
Never.
You understand what I'm saying? They're not. One of the biggest superstars on the African continent. There's no way random people are just going to now have beef with him. What has he done to them? What has he done to them to make them so angry that they want to kill him? Not beat him up.
Or something.
Not tweet him and say, hey, this guy's a
Yeah.
You know, a loser or whatever, something like that. What has he done? You know, so that's why we should.
And
be
what
angry.
is it that they will?
And
So
why do they know
they
that
are
they
going
can
to
get away with
gain?
it? Why do they know that they're going to get away with it? Exactly. What would they have to gain? Some random people. If it was just a beef, you know, Casper wouldn't. Casper's the one who's lost the most out of all of this.
Yeah.
Because that rivalry was what was fueling his career. He's got nothing left now. I'm serious, because at least the rivalry kept him irrelevant.
Yeah.
But now he's got no music. He's got no rivalry. He's got nothing left. So, you know.
Yeah, but the beef was good for their game. I don't
For
want to
both
lie.
of them. For both of them. At a certain point in time. But we needed to get over it. I was hoping that at least they could have done a joint album together. Remember?
I was hoping for that too.
Yeah, that would have been good for the game, because it says, okay, we've settled the beef now, we're moving on. Because there's new young kids that are coming up, and the beef was taking oxygen from the future of SA hip hop.
Yeah.
And right now, there's a big gap. You watch Nasty C performing at Joburg Day, he doesn't even have a band, he doesn't even have stadium rockers, he doesn't have festival hits. He doesn't have songs that can rock a crowd of 40,000, 50,000. He doesn't have those. He's got songs that can rock the club, but no. Super Mega's got more hits than Brenda Fassie.
We lost a legend there.
Dude, a legend. He's got more hits than
A
Lucky
superstar.
Dube. Yes.
You know.
You understand? Our first superstar.
You know, when I received the news, I was like, the Super Mega. You're like, no way.
You know?
No way. Like this, I wasn't saying AKA like this. You know, he had this attitude, you know, like the Super Mega. Like when he said it, because I've seen videos of him like saying, yeah, I'm the Super Mega. It's like, we lost the Super Mega. Like,
He's a super mega star.
It's not happening. Like, it's not happening. Damn.
Yeah, so that's why we must be angry. That's why we must call for justice. We must call for the head of Cyril Ramaphosa. He needs to fall on his head. He needs to fall on his sword. We know that Pala Pala story was a lie. You know, he's breached the PRECA Act. You know,
Yeah, he
that's
might
corruption.
just leave,
There's a private prosecution against him, so he's going to be charged after that private prosecution, because there's evidence. There's prima facie evidence, and prima facie evidence was all that was needed to remove Jacob Zuma as deputy president at some point in time. So why is it not enough to remove Cyril Ramaphosa? And that's what Arthur Fraser has been saying. So these people, the Ramaphosas and his family, they're trying to create a new royal family to rule over South Africa with their own corporate interests. They're basically
At the expense of people.
they're bringing back the apartheid hegemony, because who funds all their companies? I mean, Sanlam funds their financial companies. African Rainbow Capital, it's a Sanlam company, and Sanlam used to be a state pension.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was the state pension fund that was privatized, and now is a private company. So the apartheid machinery are using these people as their puppets. Motsepe and Ramaphosa, they're puppets, and they're given this power, and this power gives them absolute power over the entire country. They're beyond reproach. You know?
Yeah.
They're unaccountable.
And they're one
completely.
family.
Family. It's disgusting. It's disgusting. They've got so much power they can even kill the super mega and believe they can get away with it. That's it. They've got so much power they can kill the super mega and believe they can get away with it. They believe they're actually going to get away with it, but the youth is not going to allow that.
I will never.
The students of WITS...
We won't rest.
The students of WITS need to understand that they need to...
That's what I'm saying.
The
first day I went to strike, I was striking for everything. I was like letting my emotions out. Like, yes, I know this is a student thing, but
that's it. If you remove Ramaphosa,
angry at everything.
If you remove Ramaphosa, you can investigate him. You can investigate his whole entire family. You can investigate all the businesses. You can investigate all the apartheid benefactors.
Yeah.
Because the apartheid benefactors, it's not like it's white people. That's what they like to do. They like to make it a racial thing. Not all white people were part of the elite. Not all white people were related to P.W. Botha. You understand?
Yeah.
Exactly. So white people are also suffering. White people are charged a premium to live in this country, because for them to be safe, they need to privatize everything. They need to have private security and all that stuff, because they can't trust this black government, which has been presented to them as their enemy. We've got no problems living amongst white people and Indian people and colored people. We've got no problem. But they're creating this problem so that we can stay separated between the rich and the poor. And the rich are doing everything it takes to benefit themselves. Because they own everything, they buy everything. The police work for them. You understand?
Yeah.
Yeah. If you now say, yo, a rich person has done something to me, the police will come and arrest you first and say, oh, you're the one who's laying the charge. You're the complainant here.
Yeah. True.
That's the thing. It's all about money.
Even if it's white.
Doesn't matter.
Specific. Yeah.
Doesn't matter. That's the whole entire thing. So these elites, Black Coffee can brag, oh no, I live next door to the president. That's why you can send cops to come and abuse me and try and George Floyd me.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I'm not broke. That's what they try and do. They're trying to make sure that you're broke, trying to make sure that you've got nothing, trying to make sure that they milk you.
Yeah, they want us back. I was talking to this.
That's why Shimza is going to be going to court for I don't know how long, trying to get the other half of the money that he sued me for. But he's not going to get it. He can go to court from pillar to post. He can take this. He can send it to the judges. He can buy more judges. That judge was bought. The guy did not follow the PFMA. They bought the judge. You understand? Yeah. Even they had Katlego Malachi, the guy who's the head of legal at Sony. He was there. That's his law firm that came. So they allowed his law firm to do their dirty work. Now he thinks that he's going to be able, Katlego Malachi thinks he's going to be able to get away with bribing a judge. And I'm not going to make him accountable for it. I'm going to destroy him. I'm going to destroy him and Mulai attorneys. Bribing judges. Representing Shimza in corruption. And helping him shield himself from corruption. Clear corruption. Yeah. Absolutely clear corruption. I'm not going to allow you to take part in any of the corruption. How are they giving Shimza corruption money even to this day? That whole entire show, is corruption money. It comes from DSTV. Naspers, CEO, Puti Mahanyele. And then she gives Shimza a TV show on DSTV. And we're not supposed to see that DSTV is corrupt. No one even watches DSTV. We don't have electricity. How can we watch DSTV?
Yeah, even the sponsors.
So why are the advertisers still advertising on DSTV? Why are they advertising there? That's stupid. Because no one watches that. No one trusts it. BB Titans is always trending. No one watches Big Brother.
Yeah, nobody.
Nobody watches that. We can't watch that during load shedding.
Yeah.
That's it. They've got their people that they own. They give, what's these guys, Popcast.
Yeah, there's my money. Friend, talking about that, this, one of my friends is, he says there's a group whereby they're getting paid just to tweet about that.
Yes,
just to
make it trend. Everything. All that stuff, Yeah, that's it. They're paying them 150 Rand a day or something.
Yeah, he was plugging me, boys in our account this side, we're getting paid. And tweet, I'm nice.
You don't need that. You're building your own platform.
Yeah, that's what I told you.
You're going to be a social worker. You're going to have a platform that social workers are going to come in, and beyond. So, you don't need that.
Me and T-Dye.
You got integrity.
Yeah.
You're not for sale.
Yeah, I was like, me and T-Dye. Especially, I want to tweet about something that I know that I'm sure of. Not something which I'm...
You're just being paid to tweet.
Yeah.
Nonsense.
Yeah, back to you. Are you not angry at your sister for taking you in, involuntary?
I mean, my whole entire family did it. My brother as well. My brother, I spoke to him on the phone. He said he'd do it again. Family,
Yeah.
You can't choose them. So I'm not angry at them because they're just acting out of fear.
Yeah.
But I know better.
So after being tested, right? Do you feel like that's something that can prove everyone that calls you that you are crazy? It proves them wrong.
Yeah, obviously it does.
Yeah.
I don't have any mental health issues. My mental health is in tip-top shape.
Yeah.
Yeah, I take care of what's between my ears.
Yeah.
Better than most people do.
This guy just called out, Yeah, but I wanted to ask you something. Your wife just recently went on a radio and talked...
they use everyone in my family to try and destroy me. I'm saying that these people are using everyone in my family to try and destroy me. Yeah. You must remember that my wife is a fearful Zimbabwean who's been brainwashed. You understand what I'm saying? She has got her own mental health issues that she's not addressing. She is not going to see a psychiatrist or psychologist. It's just that, Mina, I know that if I Section 33 her, she'll get very angry and she might not forgive me. So I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't take her in involuntary. Yeah. I want her to get to a point in time where she sees she needs help. Yeah. Because she actually does need help.
So how do you feel about the comments she made about you, though?
I mean, I've got a sister-in-law who's in a mental institution in Zimbabwe right now.
Yeah.
And she's even now contracted a terminal, or is it a chronic disease? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And she doesn't even take her medication properly for her mental health. And now she's been put on, a retroviral treatment, which needs you to be taking it as well. And she's not being administered. So my main focus is to get my wife back
on,
so that she can help her sister.
Yeah.
Because if my wife does not go back home to Zimbabwe, help her sister, maybe bring her here where we've got proper medical care, her sister is going to die. And she'll never be able to forgive herself. So so that's my concern. So it's just a delicate situation that I need to be sensitive towards, because she doesn't have family at all. Her entire family has been broken apart. Her parents are farm laborers. They're not farmers, they're farm laborers. They work on a farm.
Yeah.
They work on farms in New Zealand. And her sister has now gone off to go live with her boyfriend in New Zealand, her other younger sister.
Yeah.
And then her other two siblings, are still waiting in Zimbabwe so that they can get permanent residency in New Zealand, hopefully. You know what I mean? But again, they've left behind their one sister who cannot even enter New Zealand because she's contracted a chronic disease. And if you've got certain chronic diseases, New Zealand doesn't allow you to enter.
Yeah. 2 questions left, right?
Mm-hmm.
One, why do you feel there's a need for you to reveal so much information about her? And last one, are you now cool with Questa? Because I had you on the Hustlers Corner.
No, we're not cool. You're not cool because he's working with Katlego Malachi to try and sabotage our business affairs,
Yeah.
And for me, that is like a very disgusting thing for him to do. And I told you the last time when you asked me why I reveal, it's because people use lies against me. So I need to reveal the truth.
Yeah.
So that when you come up against this person, you ask them, Nota said this. What is the truth of this matter? And my stuff can be corroborated with facts. You can take the blood tests on people. You can go to the medical records and you can find everything that you need to think. Everything that I say, you can confirm with records. When I said that I was in an institution, I even posted my medical age claim.
Yeah.
Shows you where I was.
Yeah.
On which days.
Yeah.
Understand
Even the money, I saw that.
You understand everything. So that's the thing. I reveal everything. I'm honest because they try to use lies against you. The same way they try to use lies to say, oh, no, Nota did not put up that billboard for AKA. I never said I put up the billboard.
Yeah.
Yes, but I have friends who own billboards. They don't have friends that own billboards.
Yeah, you have explained it very well on the Hustlers Corner. Yeah. They don't know.
You understand what I'm saying? But Sibu Mabena was still tweeting nonsense.
They're crazy.
No, it's because she works for MultiChoice. She works for DSTV. She's part of the corruption money.
Yeah.
You understand? That is handed over to Shimza. She's part of that corruption money. That's Ramaphosa TV, guys. You need to understand that Media 24 is also under Naspers. That's Ramaphosa Media. So when the city press goes out there and spreads all these lies against what the NPA has said, the NPA said it's not prosecuting, but yet the editor of the city press is able to say that no, AKA went to his grave with a deep, dark secret. Yes, he went to his grave with his deep, dark secrets, which is the fact that these Cyril Ramaphosa, the Tembe family, the Motsepe family are all involved in some blood cult to rule this country. That's the deep, dark secret he went to the grave with. You understand? As to the details of how it ties up, he didn't give me those details. I don't have those details. You know what I mean? He went to the grave with that, but I've got enough information to know how.
Yeah.
How it all adds up. I can connect the dots, and you guys can connect the dots. And had I not gone to McG immediately after Annelid finally succeeded in committing suicide, because it wasn't her first attempt, you know what I mean? Then you wouldn't know the truth. And I wouldn't have been able to show you how the dots connect. And you wouldn't have been able to see that when Beyitsele was out there, he was making a threat. And when someone that powerful or that influential makes such a big threat, you must understand that they don't need to be directly involved. They don't need to call someone. But someone who hears that threat and hears the dog whistles can then act on their behalf.
Yeah, do the work.
And that's exactly what they were saying Donald Trump was doing, to incite violence. And that's why he was removed off of Twitter. So that's why Beyitsele needs to be removed as well as soon as Ramaphosa resigns. And
they're all going down.
Yes, they need to, because what he's trying to do is shield him by putting him in state security and state intelligence so that he can suppress the investigation.
Good authority. Thank you for coming.
Wealthy.
Yeah, we're enjoying the Hustlers Corner. I'm looking forward to
every Monday.
Seeing you every Monday. Me any day.
Mondays are under new management, so we've got a new Monday mandate.
Yeah.
Mondays will never be mundane again.
The Nota Show.